please experiment with,
Please experiment on me.
yeah, all the doctors are saying no. And it's like, why? It's my health. Please let me do this for the sake of other people that could benefit.
I'm not a doctor, even though I was passionate about medicine since I was little. I'm not a doctor. That's like a good disclaimer to be.
That is a good disclaimer.
Yeah. We actually tried contacting doctors to, help them make some studies. We said, like, look, we're a community of 30 girls that want to help you do some research so we could, find out which things are true, which things are untrue. And even the trans-friendly doctors, out of all of them, just one was like, hope this suggestion.
Really?
Imagine. Yeah.
Why so few?
We don't know. I guess it's too complicated for us. For women, it's much easier on testosterone. Like, you don't have to worry about so many things. Things are clearer for trans men. And I guess we also have doctors that refuse to work with trans women, just work with trans men, saying, I don't want to deal with that.
Do you think that there's a medical basis to that? Or do you think it's just like trans misogyny? Or just like people that don't really like trans women, I guess. Is it political or is it medical?
I think it might be a little bit of both, but in my experience, it's mostly medical because it's way too fucking complicated.
Okay.
Sorry about my colorful language, but it is. It's a lot harder compared to like trans men. So.
Yeah, I actually reached out to my doctor as well because I was talking with them about cycling progesterone, which I am going to ask you about in just a second. But they said that there's not really any studies done. I would be curious to know the results. So I offered. Because I go to a doctor that works with a university. I was like, if you want to organize a study, like, I'm willing to do this. And I know a lot of trans women that would probably also be willing to cycle their progesterone for you as a study. And like you said, it's a no. As soon as you propose it, they don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately. But we did find one who was willing to, and he also validated we made a guide recently for trans women in Romania because we had nothing, absolutely nothing. It's not just about the language, because let's say the language barrier in Romania is really thin. It's not a problem necessarily, but we have certain products here that you don't have in the US and vice versa. And it's really hard to follow a guide from the US in Romania. Yeah, and he was actually really helpful in reading through it and making sure everything was okay and validated our test results and stuff. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's rare to see people from outside of community doctors who actually want to really help more than just accept you as your patient. Go above and beyond that.
Yeah. It is really nice to have doctors that are willing to push the limits a little bit more and do more research into trans women, especially when the trans women are offering themselves as test subjects. They're saying please experiment with
on me.
Yeah, all the doctors are saying no. And it's like, why? It's my health. Please let me do this for the sake of other people that could benefit.
Yeah, exactly. I guess few of them understand what dysphoria does to us, because I was driven into some of these experiments by my dysphoria. So yeah, I'd rather have a doctor guide me other than do something stupid by myself. But unfortunately we had no one at that point, so we decided to read up as much as we could.
It does seem like, unfortunately, a lot of us in the trans community have had to read the studies. We have to become our own doctors. We can't rely on the people who are supposed to have read the studies. They just listen to the other people that are spouting misinformation because they don't do enough studies. Oh my gosh. Frustrating.
Yes, and regarding that,